Hello. Welcome to this channel, where today we're diving deep into the explosive developments unfolding on Tuesday, October 21st, as Salem's residents face relationship crossroads, power struggles, and emotional confrontations that will leave everyone reeling. Strategic maneuvers at DiMera Mansion. The halls of the DiMera Mansion become the setting for a fascinating power exchange as EJ DiMera engages in an intriguing chess match with Theo Carver. Though this game represents far more than just pieces on a board. This strategic encounter provides both men with the perfect opportunity to discuss the monumental transition ahead as Theo prepares to assume the coveted position of Chief Executive Officer at DiMera Enterprises, one of Salem's most powerful and controversial corporate empires. The weight of this responsibility hangs heavy in the air as EJ, always the calculating mastermind, shares his wisdom about navigating the treacherous waters of corporate leadership within a family known for its ruthless business tactics and complex interpersonal dynamics. Theo faces an enormous challenge stepping into this role, knowing that his late mother Lexi and his father Abe both harbored deep reservations about any Carver becoming entangled with the DiMera family's morally questionable business practices. The chess game becomes a metaphor for the strategic thinking Theo will need to employ as he takes the helm of an organization that has been at the center of countless schemes, power plays, and ethical dilemmas throughout Salem's history. Passionate encounters and unexpected alliances. Meanwhile, the temperature rises considerably as Gabby Hernandez finds herself caught in the aftermath of an intensely passionate and steamy encounter with Philip Kiriakis that leaves both parties breathless and emotionally charged. The chemistry between these two has been undeniable, with their connection growing stronger despite the complicated web of deception that Gabby has been weaving alongside Tony DiMera. After their intimate moment together, Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Gabby will seek out Theo outside the bar, where the two former adversaries will finally clear the air and move past their recent conflicts. This crucial conversation represents a turning point in their relationship as Gabby and Theo strike a meaningful deal that allows them to put aside their differences and begin building a foundation of mutual understanding and respect. The reconciliation comes at a critical time, as Gabby had been promised the CEO position at DiMera Enterprises by Tony, only to have that promise broken when the role was ultimately offered to Theo instead. Despite feeling betrayed and manipulated by Tony's change of heart, Gabby demonstrates remarkable maturity by recognizing that Theo had no knowledge of Tony's original commitment to her and bears no responsibility for the disappointment she experienced. This development shows a new side of Gabby, one capable of separating personal hurt from professional relationships and moving forward with grace and pragmatism. Dangerous games and hidden agendas. The situation becomes even more complex as Gabby continues to juggle her genuine growing feelings for Philip with the dangerous deception she's orchestrating behind the scenes. What Philip doesn't yet realize is that Gabby has been working covertly with Tony DiMera to undermine both Philip and Xander Kiriakis, using her considerable charm and seductive powers to extract information that could ultimately destroy their control of both DiMera Enterprises and Titan. The passionate connection between Gabby and Philip intensifies with each encounter, making Gabby's betrayal all the more devastating when the truth inevitably comes to light. Gabby has even gone so far as to hire Black Patch Detective Agency to investigate the highly questionable circumstances surrounding the Titan DiMera merger, specifically focusing on the forged letter supposedly from Victor Kiriakis that Philip used to claim his inheritance. If Steve Johnson's investigation uncovers the forgery scheme orchestrated by Vivian Alamain, Philip could face catastrophic legal and personal consequences that would destroy everything he's worked to rebuild. The layers of deception create a powder keg situation where Gabby's heart may be pulling her in one direction while her loyalty to Tony and her desire for revenge push her in another, setting the stage for an explosive revelation that could shatter multiple relationships simultaneously. Interrogations and uncomfortable truths. Elsewhere in Salem, tension mounts as Xander Kiriakis brings Philip in for what promises to be an intense and revealing questioning session. This confrontation could center on multiple explosive issues, including Philip's increasingly close relationship with Gabby and the suspicious circumstances that recently led Philip to falsely claim he was attacked by someone other than Xander. The complicated history between these Kiriakis brothers continues to create friction, even as they work together to maintain control of their newly acquired business empire. During this tense encounter, Philip may need to reassure Xander that he will continue to maintain the deception about who really attacked him, a lie that serves to protect Xander from serious consequences. However, the walls may be closing in on Xander's secret, as spoilers indicate that Maggie Kiriakis might overhear enough of their conversation to piece together the shocking truth that Xander was actually responsible for the assault on Philip. This revelation would devastate Maggie and potentially destroy the fragile peace that Xander has recently achieved in his reconciliation with his wife Sarah, who has only just begun to trust him again after their painful separation. Xander finds himself in an impossibly precarious position, grateful that his marriage to Sarah appears to be back on solid ground while simultaneously terrified that his violent actions against Philip could emerge and destroy everything he's fought to rebuild. Romantic gestures with hidden motivations. The drama intensifies when EJ makes an unexpected special delivery, arriving at Marlena Evans' house carrying a beautiful bouquet of flowers specifically intended for Belle Black. Belle's reaction to seeing EJ standing at her door with flowers is less than enthusiastic, as she appears ready to slam the door in his face rather than engage with the man who so thoroughly betrayed her trust. The elevator incident during the recent blackout left EJ convinced that Belle still harbors romantic feelings for him, despite her insistence that their relationship was a terrible mistake she deeply regrets. Belle finally relents and allows EJ inside so they can have an honest conversation, though she makes it abundantly clear that she remains unreceptive to his attempts at reconciliation. Belle has come to terms with the painful reality that allowing herself to become vulnerable and fall in love with EJ was one of the worst decisions she's ever made, particularly after he threw her under the bus during Johnny's trial without even having the decency to warn her about his strategy beforehand. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest that EJ's romantic gesture may actually be motivated by ulterior motives rather than genuine feelings, as he attempts to manipulate Belle in service of some larger scheme, possibly related to his objectives at University Hospital. Despite EJ's considerable charm and persuasive abilities, Belle is no longer the naive woman who could be easily swayed by a handsome face and smooth words. She sees right through his manipulation tactics and refuses to let a simple bouquet of flowers compromise her principles or cloud her judgment about his true character. Medical consultations and mental health crises. In the midst of all the relationship drama and corporate intrigue, Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Marlena Evans will be called upon to provide her professional expertise as she consults with Sarah Kiriakis regarding an extremely sensitive and hotly contested psychiatric case. The consultation centers on Sophia Choi, whose mental state has deteriorated dramatically in recent weeks, and Marlena's role will be to support Sarah's clinical assessment and confirm that Sophia has indeed experienced a severe mental breakdown. This professional collaboration between two of Salem's most respected medical professionals takes on added weight, given the explosive circumstances surrounding Sophia's situation and the numerous residents who have confronted her in recent days. The pressure and intense scrutiny from multiple directions have caused Sophia to buckle under the strain, leading to an emotional collapse that leaves everyone in Salem reeling from the dramatic fallout. Marlena's involvement brings both her clinical expertise and her compassionate approach to a young woman in crisis, though the highly contested nature of the case suggests there may be legal or ethical complications that make this evaluation particularly challenging. Family conflicts and parental concerns. The episode concludes with a heated confrontation between Abe Carver and Paulina Price, as they find themselves on opposite sides of a crucial disagreement about their son Theo's future. Abe's fury over Theo's decision to accept the CEO position at DiMera Enterprises stems from a deep-rooted protective instinct and a long-standing promise he made with his late wife Lexi that Theo would never become entangled with the DiMera family's corrupt business practices. Throughout Theo's entire life, Abe has worked tirelessly to shield his son from the DiMera influence, determined that Theo would build his career with a reputable company that maintained ethical standards and had no connections to criminal activities. The bitter irony is that Paulina encourages precisely the opposite approach, believing that Theo should be free to make his own choices, and sees this incredible opportunity, regardless of the family's controversial history. The conflict between Abe and Paulina threatens to drive a wedge between the couple, as they represent fundamentally different philosophies about parenting an adult child and respecting his autonomy to chart his own course. Days of Our Lives spoilers indicate that Abe will ultimately have to accept the painful reality that Theo is going to make his own decisions regardless of his father's objections or concerns. However, ominous hints suggest there may be dire consequences emerging from Theo's choice to join DiMera Enterprises, potentially validating Abe's worst fears about the corrupting influence of the DiMera family and their morally compromised business empire. The question remains whether Theo possesses the strength of character and ethical foundation to resist the darker impulses that have consumed so many DiMera executives throughout the years, or whether he will eventually succumb to the temptations of power and wealth at any cost. Days of Our Lives continues to deliver the compelling drama, complex relationships, and shocking revelations that have made it a beloved fixture of daytime television for generations, and Tuesday's episode promises to be packed with pivotal moments that will shape Salem's future for weeks and months to come.